Okay, let's unpack this. We're starting a deep dive today that begins not with some grand theory, but with something incredibly relatable, the persistent smell of a deep fryer.
Exactly. We're jumping into the origin story of Alexander Cyrus, and it's this really intense look at, extreme personalization and what happens when managerial logic gets applied to, well, cosmic level risk.
And it really is a blueprint for self-invention, isn't it? Our sources are all about this guy, Marvin Puckle. He's, by all normal metrics, pretty successful.
Oh, absolutely. He's got a great salary, a manager title, but he is completely, utterly trapped by what you could call the fast food ceiling.
Right, so his big choice, this leap into a multiversal contest, it's not really about greed. It's what happens when, that feeling of being stuck finally meets a door to infinite possibility.
And that's the core of it, the ultimate career change. He's trying to escape a job where the biggest problem is that he can never, ever wash the smell of grease out of his clothes.
So our mission here, I think, is to really dissect that choice. How does an ordinary, very meticulous fast food manager design a custom power system for himself?
A cinematic system.
The cinematic system.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what he chose, it's about why. Why he looked at all these other, frankly, terrifying options and said, nope, not for me.
And we have to be clear about the stakes from the get-go. This isn't some game show.
Huh?
The prize is, well, it's everything. Full backing from this entity, Megasystems Inc., to reach the pinnacle of existence, whatever that means.
That's the flip side.
The flip side is absolute. You fail, you die. There's no consolation prize. It is the most non-negotiable career change imaginable.
Okay, so let's ground ourselves in Marvin Puckle's world before it all goes sideways. He's 25 years old.
25, yeah. And he's the picture of that self-made man idea. He chose the pull yourself up by your bootstraps route.
Right, no college, no debt. He just grinds for 7 years, working his way up the ladder at this fast food chain.
And he makes it. He gets to store manager pretty young, actually. The source is very specific that his salary is excellent for someone his age.
So he has stability, he has a title, he's done everything he was supposed to do.
But that success is the trap. It's the ultimate problem for him.
Because of the ceiling.
The ceiling, yeah. He's the manager of the store. The next step up is regional manager. But that job, I mean, it only opens up, once a decade, if he's lucky.
So the path that got him there so quickly just stops, hits a brick wall. He's completely stagnant professionally.
It's just a perfect little metaphor for how these structures can trap you, Even if you're ambitious and you work hard, he bought into the idea of always moving up. And when that stopped, the job just became a treadmill.
And the source material spends so much time on the physical proof of that stagnation.
Oh, the grease.
The smell of grease, it's not just, a faint scent. It's described as being persistent, inescapable. It's literally soaked into him.
And it's ruining his life outside of work. The source has this one line that's just so darkly funny. It calls him an expert at first dates.
Which is just a brutal way of saying he's charming, he's a nice guy, but he can never get a second date.
Because he can't wash the job off. It's not about his salary or his status. It's this constant physical reminder of his limited world. He smells like his ceiling.
So he's in this headspace, right? He's already thinking, I need a new path, when the catalyst just appears.
And it is spectacular. He's in the back room doing inventory or scheduling, the usual managerial grind.
And screen just materializes right in front of him. Out of thin air.
Total chaos, right? Marvin falls over. He's terrified. His employees, there's this kid Lemon Jello mentioned, they're all just staring at this glowing rectangle that shouldn't exist.
But then the manager brain kicks in, the panic goes away, and he starts, processing the data.
And the data is an invitation. It's super vague, but also incredibly grand. A contest from people throughout many universes.
And he's looking for the fine print, the catch. But all he can focus on is the prize. Reaching the pinnacle of existence.
And it all boils down to this one, binary choice. A blind agreement or a blind disagreement. Yes or no. That's it.
This is where that managerial desperation kicks in. He does a quick cost-benefit analysis of his life.
Right.
Trapped, smells of grease, no future.
Right.
And his internal thought process is just perfect. He thinks, it's got to be better than what I'm doing now.
That's the justification. The absolute certainty that his current situation is a dead end makes him willing to sign up for cosmic warfare. He's choosing the unknown risk over the known misery.
Yeah, it's this weird mix of total frustration and, radical optimism.
And the system, or whoever's running it, seems to know that he needs a shock. He needs to understand this is real, so it immediately gives him the preview.
A full-on movie clip from a previous contest.
Yeah.
And it's just mayhem. You see what look like modern soldiers fighting alongside like costumed superheroes and these robed mystical figures.
An inter-universal royal rumble. But the key detail, the thing that grounds it, is the text at the bottom of the screen.
This is a real scene.
People were dying. This isn't a game. It's lethal.
And then the clip fast forwards to the final two combatants. And this is so important for his later choices. On one side, you have a guy with a sword yelling,
There can be only one.
the Highlander. He's the archetype of like specialized genre-specific power.
And his opponent is this guy in a martial arts gi, just glowing with what the source calls spirit energy. He's a clear stand-in for, the Dragon Ball Z type of fighter.
Pure, scalable, raw power.
And crucially, the DBZ guy wins. Just an ultimate display of might. He doesn't just win, he completely overpowers his opponent.
So the message to Marvin is crystal clear. If you're going to do this, you need power that is not only strong, but universally effective. Overwhelming, even.
Because losing is not an option. The system confirms it right after the clip. No back button. He's in. Marvin Puckle, store manager, is now a contender.
It's an instant baptism by fire. The guy who was managing inventory 5 minutes ago is now having to manage his own existential risk.
So he's locked in. He's seen the stakes. And the system's next message is basically the mandate. You will travel to other worlds, you will get power, and you must choose a system to help you do it.
His toolkit for survival. And this choice, this is the big one. It's irreversible.
And this next part of the source material is just pure information overload. It's this catalog designed to just, completely overwhelm you.
It's the ultimate challenge for Marvin the manager. He has to apply his strategic filtering to this cosmic menu of options.
He needs efficiency. He needs something that can sail, and he needs something he can actually understand.
Let's break down what he rejects first, because that's just as important.
Yeah.
The sheer number of categories is wild. You've got, cultivation systems?
Mm-hmm. RPG and stat-based systems, world building, dungeon, apocalypse systems, just dozens and dozens of them.
And he throws out the cultivation systems almost immediately. And his logic is so sound.
The learning curve. He sees it right away. Cultivation, it takes decades, sometimes centuries, of this very focused internal work.
And times the one thing he doesn't have. He just saw two guys fight to the death. He can't afford to spend 100 years meditating just to learn how to throw a small energy ball.
It's a pure ROI decision. Return on investment. The time debt is way too high for the immediate risk he's facing. He needs something that works now.
Okay, so then he looks at the RPG and stat-based systems. And his reason for rejecting these is so honest.
He just says he lacked the patience.
I love that. He doesn't want the grind. He's not going to go kill 10,000 space rats to get a +1 to his agility stat.
No, he's looking for a shortcut, an efficiency hack. He wants structural power, not incremental gains.
And then there's the funniest rejection, the survival and apocalypse systems. He just tosses them out.
Because he hates zombies.
He hates zombies. Even when he's facing down the end of his own existence, he's like, yeah, but I'm not dealing with zombies. It's so human.
So his filtering process, it keeps narrowing things down until he lands on a category that feels familiar, something he's, consumed his whole life.